Hi guys, my name is Annabelle from Horizon Cosplay and welcome to day number 1 of the 12 days of Cosplay Christmas. Now this year we're doing a little bit special to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the original Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring movie. We have themed the entire Cosplay Christmas to be Hobbit themed, and I'm very excited to say that today we are doing Hobbit breakfast. For our Hobbit's first breakfast we will be making Beorn's honey nut cakes. Now I got this recipe online and I will link it and write the recipe down below so that if you guys want to make it yourself you can, but for now, I suppose, let's get started. Now, because hobbits are quite foodie people, this 12 days of Cosplay Christmas is going to be quite food orientated. However, I promise you that it will be utterly worth it and all this food is very gorgeous. However, to make food, we need to start with some ingredients. The first thing we're going to be needing is some nice plain flour, and then that's going to change to some mixed nuts, which will need to be chopped, but unfortunately I couldn't find chopped mixed nuts, so I'm just going to crush these in a little bit. Next you're going to need some margarine. I've gone with proper stalk cake baking margarine just because it's my favourite. And of course you can't have honey nut cakes without some honey. Some wheat germ or flaxseed is also a necessity. And some lemon juice just to add that little bit of zesty flavour. Followed by some salt and finally some cottage cheese, some sour cream and some eggs. And now you've got all that, it's time that we get cooking. So firstly I got a strainer and then put 1 cup of cottage cheese through it to make it smooth. You're supposed to use 1.5 cups here, but I just didn't have enough cheese and it was too late to go to the shops to buy more. So me being me, I just worked with what I had. Also this process took absolutely ages and really made my arms ache. But once it was done, I could finally add 1.5 tablespoons of sifted flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of sour cream and 1/2 cup of honey, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and 1/2 cup of wheat germ. I then cracked 3 eggs, splitting them into whites and yolks before lightly beating the yolks and adding them to the main bowl before mixing it thoroughly. So we're in the corner because I need to whisk these egg whites into stiff peaks, which I am not doing by hand, and the only electric whisk I has a New Zealand plug, and the only New Zealand plug socket we have or converter is over here, so I'm just going to sit on the floor and do this, and please don't judge me too harshly. Even with the electric whisk this did take a while, but at least it was still done in under an hour. So then all that was left to do was fold in those egg whites, and it's important to fold and not mix because folding keeps the air in the cake. No point ruining all that fluffing we just sat in a corner doing. I then buttered our cake tin before sprinkling the bottom with 1/4 cup of the flaxseed. Oh, and the reason we're using flaxseed and not wheat germ is because none of the shops where I live actually sell wheat germ, and I couldn't afford to special order it online. And remember I said I needed to chop those mixed nuts? Well, it was less of a chop and more of a beat with a rolling pin, but it worked either way. I then mixed in 1/8 of the cup of flaxseed with the nuts off camera before sprinkling it all onto an even layer on the top of the cake. And this is what the cake looks like, all prepped and ready to cook. So now the only thing to do is to put it in the oven and let it cook. But before we let it cook, a good test of a good cake is to always taste the batter. And it's at this point I realise I think I just made cheesecake. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really good cheesecake, but I'm pretty sure I just made cheesecake, and who the hell doesn't want cheesecake for breakfast? Let's see how it turns out. Definitely very good. Putting the cake in the oven, it was a short wait of only half an hour before we took it out, and it was finally ready to eat. Okay, let's see how this cake turned out. Alright, let's have a go and see how it tastes. I mean, it's definitely cheesecake.
It's got an odd consistency. I've never had that before.
It is. I'm wondering if maybe it's
like a mix between like chocolate mousse and cheesecake.
I mean, it has flour and everything in, but it is cheesecake-like, isn't it?
Hmm.
I mean, it's
quite strange.
Yeah, it's an odd one. All right, out of 10.
I do agree. It definitely is similar to like a chocolate mousse.
Mm.
It's good, but it's...
Out of 10, it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it's not mine. It's good, but it is still quite nice. But I can definitely say it's the oddest dessert I've ever
But then
had.
again, out of the 4 of us, like me, you and Ari aren't really like big cheesecake fans.
I mean, it tastes cheesy, but it also tastes quite nutty, and you can definitely get the honey flavour. But I mean, honestly, it's got a weird texture. I'm not 100% keen. The flavour's good. All right, out of 10, Ben?
6.
6. I'd actually go more like 5.
I'm being polite. It's 6 because it's actually cooked well and it has a good consistency. You
It's
can
just a bit
taste
odd.
everything. It's just not my flavour.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, like a 6.
Curtis?
Probably a 5.
So yeah, out of the recipes, this one's probably one of the
So edible, but probably won't make again.
yeah.
Fair play, can't be a win every time. And with that, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do leave us a like and subscribe to see other 12 Days of Cosplay Christmas. Hopefully our other recipes turn out a little bit better than this. Have a wonderful festive season, and I will see you in a few days. Bye!